Florida at the beach, and we just had an encounter that reminded me that for some weird reason, some people think that families with babies and young kids should just like not go out in public, I guess. My in-laws have this little beach house that we're staying in, and we're very comfortable with the neighborhood and where we are. We're here all the time. And we were at the pool that's like behind our house at the back of the neighborhood. This is my baby's first time here. We didn't know how it was gonna go. We didn't go to the beach today because my in-laws aren't here yet. And so we wanted those extra hands. So we were like, we'll just go to the pool. So we're there. Long story short, he gets fussy. So he was just not having it. So I was trying to soothe him for probably 2 to 3 minutes. He calmed down for a minute, then he got worked back up. And eventually I just like walked away with him because I didn't want to disturb people at the pool. I gave it a few minutes. He wasn't having it. So I walked down to like this little pier area. That didn't help either. So eventually after a few minutes, I went over to my husband and I was like, hey, hand me the golf cart keys. I'm going to take him back to the house. My husband was like, okay, do you want me to come with you? And I was like, no, just stay, relax. I'm just going to go back with him and let him nap. When I went back to pick him up in the golf cart, my husband was like, I said something to this guy that I probably shouldn't have. And I was like, okay, what? And my husband is like the least confrontational person ever. I forgot to mention that there was one other newborn there who was also crying at one point, and there were 2 younger kids who were like playing in the pool and being loud and rambunctious because they're children. Everyone there had kids with them except for I think 2 people, and one of them left while all the babies were crying, which is understandable, but she didn't say a thing. Apparently when I left, the other person who did not have any kids in their party, more people showed up to like hang out with him, I guess, and he was like telling them, we should probably just go. All these kids are being so crazy. There was a baby crying, blah, 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 blah. My husband also said that a few seconds before this, that kid that was playing in the pool threw a goldfish and it landed in front of this guy. And he bent down, picked up the goldfish and chucked it over the pool gate out of anger. My husband was like, oh, he's pissed off. Anyway, my husband, who is not confrontational whatsoever, pipes up to this guy and was like, hey, my wife was doing her best. Our baby is 4 months old and he's gonna cry sometimes. He wasn't liking it. She gave it a minute and then she walked away and she left. She's no longer here. So there's no reason for you to be talking about her or be talking about the baby. If you don't like it, you don't have to be here. But we own a property here. His parents do, and we have every right to be here just as much as you do. When he told me that, he said that, I was actually so proud of him because like I said, that is not in his nature. So I appreciate him speaking up for us and just being like, this is so unnecessary. But this is more so just my PSA that like, if you're a person who you think you would react like that, ask yourself why. Why do you think you're entitled to peace and quiet out in public? Nowhere is that promised to you. Other people go in public, and just because you want to go somewhere and be able to sit in silence and have peace doesn't mean that people who maybe might make that environment less quiet and peaceful don't get to come where you are. Whether it's restaurants, a pool, a beach, a park, wherever it is, parents with kids and those kids have just as much of a right to be in public as you do. I don't know why this has me so fired up. I guess it's because I'm a first-time mom and this is like the first time that I've encountered this when it's about my child and a situation that's like my family. Kids in public never bother me. Airplanes, whatever it is, that does not bother me. I was a teacher for 5 years. I've grown up babysitting. I grew up with young siblings in my house, so maybe that contributes to it. But also, I just feel like that would be my outlook anyway, because kids are kids, and I don't know why people expect kids to not act like children. It's one thing to be quietly frustrated that your pool time is no longer as peaceful as it was maybe before those kids got there, but it's a whole other thing to have a physical outburst where you're throwing a kid's goldfish aggressively or sitting there talking about a baby right in front of that baby's parents. I'll get off my soapbox now, but this was just so frustrating to me because this right here is exactly why so many moms and families are afraid to go out in public with their young kids.